that is operating across the national grid. And this will also enable us to cope with the increased wheeling capacity of the national grid. The national grid is over 50 years old, and we know that a lot of the power transformers, the cables, they are old, they are weak, so there is the necessity for us to regularly maintain the grid and replace all these old and dilapidated infrastructure for us to have a more stable and effective national grid. The total approvals for these transformers for procurement is $34 million plus an additional 5.2 billion naira. And the number of transformers actually total 14 in number, which includes a 2-number 150 MVA, 330, 132, 33 kV power transformers, and a 5-number 100 MVA, 132, 33 kV power transformers, and 5 numbers 60 MVA, 132, 33 kV power transformers, and lastly 2 numbers of 30 MVA, 132, 33 kV power transformers. Upon procurement of this will actually make the grid to be more efficient, more effective, and will improve power supply to all.
Ọlọ́run, ìjọba ẹ̀mí ló kàn yìí, ẹ bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run. You dey hear am? They want to change your transformers. They want to, so that's 24 million. And in total, plus another 5.5 billion. You dey hear am? The same song that this guy was singing last year, the same he sang in 2023 when he was appointed. He's the same guy that said that Nigeria needs $10 billion every year for 10 years. That is $100 billion for Nigeria to have a stable electricity, because according to him, they will need to change every cable, every pole, every transformer, maybe every meter in the country. And it will be a 10-year project. So since he can't get 10 billion, how about 500 million, $600 million? That won't be about. So everybody they do their own everybody they do their own bid for 2027. He's already preparing to be governor for Oyo. So now that money they go take run am. He's going to resign probably before the end of this year to say he wants to go and become governor for Oyo. That is his own cash out. Once they get the loan and it's released, you don't do. I don't know about others though, and what they are working on, or if they are just like a front for Tinubu and their own looting plans, right? But almost around the same time, a few months before, or sorry, few months apart, Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso, who has sort of like ignited a national sort of like a patriotism in his country. If you have been seeing some of their stuff, right? So if he is not using their money in procuring road grading, construction equipment, is upgrading military equipment, and the citizens themselves, they've volunteered themselves to rebuild their country. One of them actually made a video and said, since America, France have been doing everything to sanction, including Nigeria, to sanction Burkina Faso from accessing any form of, external credit, so to say. Their people themselves have turned themselves to the most valuable resource or resources in need. One of them made this video. And according to him, it's kind of like in French, right? According to him, we built this. Traore built this. And he did without borrowing a dime from anywhere. I don't know if you have actually seen the video before, but here, watch.
Il n'y a pas crédit dedans. Voilà, il n'y a pas crédit dedans. Zone en carton. Ouais. Vous voyez, les voitures circulent dessus. Tranquillement. C'est propre, c'est bon. C'est un goudron de qualité. Voilà, famille. Si c'est le Burkina Faso, on fait tout de fonds propres. C'est pour nous. Voilà. Il n'y a pas de crédit dedans. Famille, attends saut. Sam Kabe. Voilà. Pour ceux qui ne connaissent pas, ici, c'est le rond-point à l'entrée de Ouagadougou. C'est la voie de contournement. Si vous regardez bien, c'est une grande voie qui fait le tour de toute la ville de Ouagadougou. Vous voyez? Je peux dire que c'est une autoroute, hein? C'est une autoroute. Voilà. C'est une voie à double sens. Hein? Deux voies ici, deux voies ici. Construit à fond propre. Regarde les lampadaires avec des plaques solaires de qualité. Voilà. La nuit, c'est éclairé, le rond-point est éclairé. Regardez. Les lampadaires. C'est parti. Il n'y a même pas de limite. C'est le façon. Vous voyez? Il n'y a pas de crédit dedans. C'est pour nous. Il n'y a pas de crédit dedans. Voilà. On n'en vit personne. On n'en vit pas un pays. C'est pour nous. Voilà. Famille, il faut regarder. Regardez derrière moi. Tout ça, c'est pour nous. Regardez comment c'est joli.
That c'est fou, no? I think that's French as well. So if you are a regular user of the social media, you probably must have come across a lot of stuff these guys are doing in their country, rebuilding their own roads, since the foreign contractors or foreign builders won't come to their country because of sanctions. They are rebuilding their own, sporting centers, stadiums, building new hospitals. They are building new roads from scratch. Guys, like it is their national, in Burkina Faso, it is their national goal to construct 5,000 kilometers of road using their own local labor instruments and few other things they have. And they are supposed to actually be poor, right? You have a democracy where clowns have become the court jesters, praise singers who are out there talking down on the citizens, bragging about the kind of power and influence they have, turning themselves to God. Like this Dani Bulaba. Let's go back to Nigeria now. So Dani Bulaba was on Politics today with Sheung. And I think they were just having this as Sheung as, Sheung for being Sheung. So I think they asked him about Goodluck Ebere, Jonathan's the rumor that he will be joining the 2027 this or that. His response. And then his response about this South. Have you heard the Ronokus? I saw a post on, I think it was on Twitter, X, where one of the sewage dwellers, the Ronu bandits, the Ronuku, said that the northern Nigeria want to be doing bigotry with them because the northerners are saying they are not stupid. All right. Majority of the projects going on in northern Nigeria, okay, the contractors are not paid because there's no money to release to them. And they believe that in other places, like in the south, Tinubu is actually building a lot, is developing the southern part of Nigeria at the detriment of the northerners. So, and it is famous in northern Nigeria right now, the word Yorubanization. You get that? So, the Ronukus who want to, they want the Igbos to go back to their region. Now I saw where one of them was like, Northerners are practicing bigotry. This is the time for the South to unite. As Abulori Brukune, you better call your fellow Ronukus to get unite. Which of the South? Let's unite against the North. Coming from a Ronuku that wakes up every day or barely sleeps as well because he's having a nightmare about one of the regions in the same South. Okay. So Dani Bulaba went on TV to brag of Tinubu's kind of like a chances. The Northerners who are grouping themselves to take him out. Dani Bulaba is from Borno State. He said these are inconsequential people. In the south of Nigeria, according to him, Tinubu has done so well. He didn't mention what he did though, but he said Tinubu has done so well that Peter Obi stands no chance in the southern part of Nigeria. Forget about 2023. That's what he said. But hang on, I think I'd rather let him say it. Listen. That's him over there.
You see, when it comes to the issue of whether this government is responsible and responsive, I believe you must have reported over and over at the Melokon camp. I see that some unscrupulous elements are trying to hoodwink former President Goodluck Jonathan to come into politics so they can destroy his reputation, which after he left government, he has been building by becoming an international figure globally. And why do I say that? The southern Nigeria, where President Goodluck Jonathan comes from, have all turned to Ashwaji Bola Tinubu and APC. You have seen governors coming. These are the individuals he would have relied on if he's going to run for presidency. Now, the elements that are going to him in the north, asking him to come to run, are they not the ones that chased him away? So what hope does he have that this time around they are calling him because they mean well for him? Then look at the political class that are coming together to cajole him to come into politics. I know President Goodluck Jonathan is smarter than that. But if President Jonathan decides to run, let me tell you, I have seen the political climate in Nigeria today, and I will speak to facts, not conjecture. There is not a single politician that has the capacity to knock off President Bola Tinubu.
In what sense?
In all fronts.
Let me bring something.
This was the worst moment of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's political trajectory. Do you know why? President Bola Tinubu came at a time when the odds were against him. Even members of the Southwest, I was with him in the primaries and before the primaries. I know prominent figures in the Southwest who turned their back from him. Why? Because they were hearing that a Fulani man will give to another Fulani man. So they rally around Alhaji Abubakar. The Southeast, they were trying to find a place. Majority of them tried to align with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. The North Central, Peter Obi used dangerous rhetoric and deceived the church that he is going to take the country back to the church. And he got the number he could muster. You see this thing? This is going to be like I don't know how to describe it, but let me take you zone by zone. You see the Southeast, I guarantee you President Bola Tinubu is going to get more than 4 times, if not 6 times the value of the vote he got. So because all the governors
get 800,000 votes or 700,000 in the Southeast, that's what you're saying?
No, you will get up to 2 million. But let me tell you.
In the Southeast?
Yes.
Where will you get that?
Let me tell you why.
How many votes are there in the Southeast?
There are lots of votes.
Yeah, but the question is that if Peter Obi is not on the ballot.
No, Peter Obi will never. He's a director general in ADC, the coalition of.
Peter Obi has 3 options on the table right now.
Which option?
PDP, Labour Party, ADC.
Let me tell you, those who were saying PDP, when he had Jonathan, immediately he said he's Labour. And why he's Labour? He said he swore he never said he's Labour. He is. He said ADC. Then he swore that he's Labour. As I tell you, he's not going to get a ticket in any of the parties. That is Peter Obi. Now, the problem now is that he might not even get the vice presidential ticket from the way things are going. But whether Peter Obi is a ticket bearer of the party, Peter Obi has lost more than 50% of his vote because they were not votes that were built on agenda and politics. They were built on rhetoric and division. And Nigerian people's eyes are open. That is one, Southeast. When you go to the South, when President Bwala Tinubu came, you know most of the governors were PDP governors in the South. Tell me a state in the South that is not supporting Ashwaji Bola Tinubu. Even the one that the governor say, I remain a member of PDP, say, I endorse Ashwaji Bola Tinubu. Are there not governors that have the structures in the state? Come to the Northwest. All these places we've been going in the Northwest, the governors coming out, talking about the policies of the president and how they will support him. Are they not the ones with the structure?
Sounds to me like what I heard in 2014, 2015 about Goodluck Jonathan.
So I've been hearing this rhetoric. Let me tell you today. The coalition then that removed Jonathan was not this Akamu and Moi Moi coalition. No. Rochas Okorocha carried Agda on his back and came. Saraki carried a part of PDP and came. Tambuwal carried a part of PDP, congregation, and came. Atiku Abubakar had his own structure, he came. Buhari came with his own structure. All of them came together from their legacy party, no disunity, no double parallel, they are intact. Ali Madu Sharif came with his own.
Or more. All these videos, they are going to be so golden if Tinubu couldn't pull off his rigging plan. Because you see these guys, these ones are just like Oweekpo, what the Yoruba call the Oweekpo. These ones are always after the oily fingers. So if your fingers become so dry and no longer oily, that mouth will change again. Sure you get. So the way he's talking, like you can just be like, oh more. Hey, could it funny, man? If they are unable to pull off their rigging, if it should fail, hi. Somebody said that when the revolution starts, may they leave this one for him. Okay, you need to listen to the other part. That's not all. Laba.
You see, when it comes to the issue of whether this government is responsible and responsive, I believe you must have reported over and over and over how that, for example, when an appointment is made and there is a backlash or outcry and the president will retract and reappoint, how that when certain decisions are made by the president and by the government, when there is a backlash and reaction, the president will withdraw from that. How that when it comes to addressing the Nigerian people, the president will give his reason for taking certain decision when there is a backlash or outcry, and then the president react. But you must separate between the outcry or backlash that come from the population of Nigeria and agenda that is cooked by the opposition. Let me tell you what will surprise you, Sheun. In the last 1 month, the kind of results that are coming across all fronts is torturing this opposition. Torturing them because they have not been able to come out with any credible alternative. This opposition is turning itself into Kemi Bedunok. Where you lack what to talk about, you talk about Nigeria. That's what they are doing. What are those things? If the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, were not to be a Muslim, I am telling you, religion would have also been part of the thing that will be stocked up against him. You see? But we should be able to go beyond that. The northern Nigeria is extremely comfortable with the governance approach of Mr. President. You know why? He is solving the problems that are in the long term. And the problems in the moment, you can see conscious effort by the president through the various policy. Take, for example, when the report by World Food Program came out, I think 2 weeks ago, that certain individuals, there are people in northern Nigeria, especially the IDPs, are going to, go into death, sick, and that is because of hunger and malnutrition, that many people are going to perish. What was the reaction of the government? The government, before the report, has taken steps to deal with the issue of malnutrition, to deal with healthcare issue. Now, opposition can never come here, Sheun, and talk about that. You know why? They don't have the ideas. I said this before on your show, and it bears repeating. This opposition till today have not brought up policy issue to say President Tinubu is wrong. This is how it should be.
Now to turn far. Ma okuta to wa nbe ma yoku nbe. Ma sabi gbata ba nsa ewa. láòdù tó ń fà máa òkúta tó wà ń bẹ̀ máa yọ kúrò ń bẹ̀ máa sàbí ìgbà tó bá ń sa ẹ̀wà.
That's the only advice I can give to him. Because Bulaba is, to him right now, he's doing the best job.